to the new semester. Yeah. So I guess this is your last semester, yeah, inshallah, yeah. Okay, so everybody's here for the machine learning class, yeah, CSC728, yeah. Okay, so just a brief introduction about myself, yeah. I'm Zaida Ibrahim, yeah. So my degree is in computer science, yeah, from California State University, Dominguez Hills. It was like a long time ago in the 80s. Yeah. And then my master's was from Northrop University, also in California. During that time, there were quite a few engineering courses. Malaysia sent engineering students to this university. This is a private university, and then during the recession in the 90s, they have to close this university. So right now, there's no more Northrop University. Yeah? So I do not have a PhD yet. So please just call me Puan Zaida. Yeah. Okay. I've been with UITM for quite some time. Yeah. Since late 80s. Yeah. So I have quite a few experiences in AI. Yeah. I've given talks on AI in campuses, UITM campuses, about AI in games, yeah, about deep learning. Yeah. So, and then my research also, okay, mostly related with AI, yeah, and especially dealing with computer vision. Yeah, so that is my research interest. Yeah. So so I will share in this class, okay, whatever experience that I have. Okay, but actually in this class it's not just a one way communication. Yeah, I'm sure you guys also have your experience. Yeah, so I hope that this will be like a two-way communication where you guys also hopefully will share with everybody in this class. Yeah, anything that is related with AI or machine learning. Yeah. Okay. May I know how many of you are working right now? Hello.
Maybe most of us, Doctor.
I think everybody's working, yeah? All right, okay. Okay, so, okay, I know it's tough, yeah? Working full time, studying part time, yeah? So, but then we'll try, yeah, to work things out, yeah? Okay, so, you know my phone number, and that's my email address if anything you want to contact, yeah? Okay, okay, the topics for this class. Yeah. So today basically we'll discuss just some general idea about AI. Oh, another question. How many of you took AI class before this during degree? Who? Aisha. And the rest of you? Did you guys take AI class or any short courses? I assume no. Eh? Aisha, your degree is in CS, is it? Okay. So where are you from? Your degree? Oh, ya ke? All right. Well, I one of your lecturers masih degree? No, okay. So for Aisha, maybe some of the materials that we will discuss today will be a review. So I assume it's something um, not really new. I think everybody knows about AI. Yeah. So So today we'll just briefly introduce about AI, okay, machine learning and deep learning and computer vision. Okay. Now I have provided the slides and also some short lecture notes, yeah, for you guys to read through, yeah, for a better understanding. But of course, the internet, yeah, provides a lot of information, yeah. And if you find something that is not in the notes or in the slides, I hope that you will share it with us in class, yeah. Okay. Now, even though this is a 3 hour class, I don't think that I will be online for 3 hours. Yeah. Because if it's face to face, then part of the class time will be used working on the assignment. Yeah. So since this is online, so then I'll let you off early to work. Okay, on the assignment. Yeah. Okay. And then next week we'll start off with talking about supervised machine learning. Okay. And then we'll start working on discussing about the assignments. Yeah. So we'll discuss about supervised. So in this class, basically we focus on supervised machine learning. Okay. And then we talk about deep learning. I think some of you might heard of CNN. So we talk about that. Yeah, and then some other applications, yeah, in machine learning. Yeah. Now, so for the assessment, basically there will be 3 assignments, and I know it's not that easy working on group assignment during this ODL. Yeah, so everything, all the assignment will be individual assignment. Yeah. So the first assignment, yeah, 20%. Now all the assignments, okay, um, lab assignment, and then there will be some technical report that you have to submit. Yeah. Now I've made all the technical reports due on the like the 15th week. Yeah. Meaning during the exam week. Yeah. But if you were to finish early, then my advice is that submit early. Yeah. So please don't wait until the last minute to submit everything, because I know during this time then you'll be busy with your final report presentation and so on. Yeah. But so if you were to submit early, then I might give you some extra points. Yeah. So so again, even though all the due dates, yeah, on the 15th week during the exam week, but try to finish early. Yeah. Okay. For the test, okay, it will be during the exam week. The date will be informed later, so the test will be 20%. Yeah, it's open book. Yeah, open book. So of course, the question will not be something like a definition which you guys can just copy and paste. Yeah, so something which requires analyzing, yeah, your opinion, yeah, but we'll talk more about the test later. Yeah. But these are the things that you will cover in this class. Oh, by the way, there will also be one presentation. So the presentation will be based on the last assignment. Yeah, the last assignment. Okay, so for the lab assignments, yeah, all will be using Python. Yeah. So we'll discuss about Python. So um, everybody's familiar with Python?
No, doctor.
No, yeah, but that's okay. That's why we will discuss about it in this class. And anyway, for the assignment, you do not have to write the Python codes from scratch. Actually, you will just be importing, yeah, all the libraries that are needed. Yeah. Okay, so we'll discuss as we go on. Yeah. Okay, so those are the assignments, the assessments. Okay. Um, Anything that you wanna ask so far? Okay. So let me just show you examples of assignments, the technical report that previous students, yeah, have submitted. This one here about human activity recognition. Yeah, this one here comparing machine learning and deep learning. So notice that actually for the technical report, I do not require any specific format. Everything I leave it to you. I'm evaluating on the content. Yeah. So for example, for this student, okay, he provide some just brief introduction about the technique and then the experiments. Yeah, so for the lab assignments, all the lab assignments basically at this level, so you'll be doing a lot of experiments because in AI, when you run the program and you get the result, okay, it does not stop there. Why? Because we human, when we solve problems, okay, not necessarily the first time that we get the answer that is the correct answer or that is the best answer. Yeah, because in AI it involves a lot of random numbers, try and error. Okay, so meaning now there's a lot of experiments. So the technical report, yeah, you report all the results of the experiments. Yeah, so notice basically on the experiments, so not much writing actually. Yeah, not much text. Okay, so in this case here, okay, so a lot of the assignments, the experiments. Okay, and then okay, um, he made some conclusion about machine learning. Yeah, okay, and then experiments on deep learning. Okay, this one here is for the second assignment actually. Yeah, second assignment. Mm, and then he make some conclusion based on deep learning and then make the overall conclusion. Yeah, and maybe just a few references. Yeah, so basically this is what is expected from the lab assignment. So basically report all the experiments. Yeah, all the experimental analysis, and then you make your the conclusion, meaning which technique is better and so on. Yeah, so that is one format. This, yeah. So another student, I think she follows a specific format. Okay, it's like an article, but again, this is not something which is required. The student, she prefers to have this format, so I'll still accept. Yeah, so in this case here, she has this abstract and the introduction, but notice there's no literature review, so it's not really a full complete article. Yeah, so and this is not a requirement, this is her preference. Yeah, and then again she has all the experiments. Yeah, all the results here, reported all the results. Okay, so notice that in the lab assignments, basically what's important is that your experimental results, and you explain why is it that you get the results. Okay, and then make some conclusion. This conclusion, yeah, so meaning it is based on your experimental result. Yeah, so she makes some conclusion. Okay, so that's basically, so the format, it doesn't matter actually. The number of pages also, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I do not limit that because I do not want to limit your creativity. Yeah, in doing the experiments and in presenting your ideas. Yeah, okay. So any questions before we start?
Doktor, apa Puan, untuk attendance nak kena tanda dalam U-Future ke?
It's okay. I will take the attendance dekat sini. Yeah. So basically we are supposed to have 10 kan? 10 students. So if I see 10, then that means I know that we have everybody. Yeah. Okay. So okay. So no worry. So do not have to sign anything dekat your future. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay. If no question, then I will ask. So when you register for this class, yeah, is a core, yeah, machine learning. So what comes to your mind? What is your expectation actually? Anybody?
I hope to understand better in the machine learning.
Hmm. What is your understanding about machine learning? Have you guys heard of it? Or maybe in
Something
your work? Huh?
something related to data.
Related with data. Yeah. So um, in your work, do you guys apply AI or machine learning or deep learning? Any of you?
Using iPhone Siri lah.
F Siri, yeah. Okay, okay. All right. Anybody else? What about your project? Your final project? Anybody works on something related with AI?
Yes, Puan.
So what's is it about? Nazim?
Classification of birds.
Birds, classification of birds.
Uh,
Okay.
Using audio.
From the image, and then you classify the name of the birds.
No, using audio.
Oh, audio. Okay. All right. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Unfortunately, in this class, we will not discuss anything about audio. Yeah. But then the concept is similar, whether it's audio or videos. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else working on AI related for the project? No. Okay. All right. So if no, so today we'll just have a brief introduction, yeah, on some fundamentals, yeah, fundamental concepts of AI, machine learning, and deep learning, yeah. So hopefully by the end of today's class, you will understand what we mean by AI, what is machine learning and deep learning, the learning style, the problems that is suitable to be solved, yeah, by AI, machine learning, and deep learning, because not all problems can be solved or suitable to be solved using AI algorithms, yeah, and some applications. Now, all these links, yeah, from YouTube, I hope that you guys will take a look at it after class, yeah. I do not plan to show them during this class time, takut nanti dia mengganggu sebab bergantung kepada internet kan. So my advice is that look at all these links, yeah, during your free time, yeah, yeah, because it consists of some useful information which I may not discuss in class lah, yeah, some extra knowledge, yeah. Okay, so if you were to watch this YouTube, yeah, so it's about this guy, yeah. Have you watched these videos before? Have you seen this?
Yes, Puan.
Yes. Oh, okay, okay, that's good. So you know that this guy actually is blind. He's a programmer at Microsoft. So using the vision, yeah, camera on the glasses here can capture the image, and then okay, the AI program can classify, okay, the activities, the human expression, the gender, the age, yeah. So this is an example of what AI and computer vision, yeah, can do. So hopefully we'll have time to discuss, yeah, about computer vision, yeah, about image recognition, yeah. So this is another example, yeah, of the application of AI and computer vision. Here, for example, yeah, detect whether the person here follows the SOP or not, yeah, because supposed to wear the helmet, but this one is not wearing the helmet, you know. And this one here, there's no barcode, so detecting of the barcodes, yeah, detecting defects. So computer vision, there's a lot of applications, yeah, applied, yeah, in the real world right now. Okay, so IR, this one here in Industrial Revolution, yeah. So I'm sure you've heard of IR 4.0, and now we're talking about 5.0, yeah. So can anybody tell me what we mean by IR 4.0 and 5.0? Okay, anyway, okay, so basically I want to talk about the Industrial Revolution. We're talking about the advancement, yeah, of an industry, yeah. So in 4.0 we're talking about a lot of technology, IoT, yeah, use cloud, cognitive computing. So 5.0, okay, the relationship, cooperation between man and machine, yeah. So we and machine, we work together, yeah. So that's the IR 5.0, yeah. Okay, so this is just some extra explanation. Okay, okay, now so when I talk about AI, what do you mean by intelligence? Yeah. So just some brief definition. So intelligence, we're talking about the ability to learn, understand, and solve problems and make decisions. Yeah. So meaning now when we want to apply, when we talk about AI, so we're talking about we want to apply the artificial intelligence to the machine. So that means now we want the machine to be able to learn, understand, solve problems, and make decisions. And in other words, we want the machine, yeah, the software to be able to work and act like human. That's what we want to do. So for example, with computer vision, yeah, so we want the software or the hardware, yeah, to be able to look at the image, for example, or listen to the sound and classify or recognize it, yeah. So that is something that what the AI is all about, yeah. So these are the founders of AI. So AI actually started in 1956 in a conference. Yeah, the terms AI, yeah, started in 56. So it's still very new. Yeah, about just 50 something years only. Yeah, less than 100 years. Yeah. Okay. So here there's a lot of the evolution, meaning now the advancement, yeah, of AI. So this is like in 2019 we begin to have a lot applications, yeah, which can recognize the voice, yeah, of course recognize the image and so on, yeah. So we keep having better and better applications, yeah, in AI, yeah. So I think you've heard of Deep Blue, yeah, the Deep Blue, the software here, which this is an example of the what do you call it? What AI, yeah, has done, yeah, the achievement of AI. So Deep Blue is the computer software which can beat the human grandmaster, human chess grandmaster, yeah. So I think you've heard of this, yeah. Oh, by the way, why do you think that Deep Blue can beat the human grandmaster here, the chess grandmaster? Why do you think?
Because Deep Blue already learn how the Grandmaster play.
Because he what?
The Deep Blue has already learned how the Grandmaster play because the Deep Blue wins on the second game.
Okay, okay. So in other words, Deep Blue can learn, yeah, the like the strategy of the human. Hmm. Okay. Anybody else have any other answers? Why do you think that Deep Blue can win? Or why is it that the human lost? Anybody besides Nazim? Now, this is some of the examples of the question that I might ask. Yeah? Something which you need to analyze and do some critical thinking, do critical analysis. Yeah, okay. But some say that humans we get because we have emotions. Yeah, So the emotions affect our decision making, right? As a human, we got exhausted, stressed, so that also affects the human's performance. Um, and then another reason, deep blue, okay, the knowledge about deep blue is the combination of five chess experts, compared to here just one, so deep blue has, the strategies, from five different players, so it has more knowledge, so those are some of the reasons, okay. So but this is just to indicate, the achievements of AI. Another game is Go, Go also, the I think Korean game, also lost, from beaten by the AI program, Google AlphaGo, so I talk about AI. So we have the robots here now. We have in Japan here, what do you call it? Receptionists, are robots, so they can communicate, can understand, can have simple communication, I'm sure you've heard of Sophia also, can communicate, Okay. So other highlights of the evolution of AI, okay. So we have very simple architecture, of the one of the machine learning techniques, and then it gets more complex. So when it gets more complex, so of course you can do more things, so this is what we will discuss in this class, the focus of this class, so this is the neural network, so this is the main focus for our machine learning class, okay. All right. Okay. So we've talked about AI. Yeah. So what do we mean by machine learning and deep learning? Yeah. So when talk about machine learning, we are talking about algorithms whose performance improve as they are exposed to more data over time. So meaning now when we talk about machine learning, we are talking about, the important thing is the data. Yeah. Why? Because if we have garbage in to the machine learning algorithms, we will have garbage out. Yeah. So that means now, okay, so it works on a large amount of data, yeah, to perform the operations to produce the results, yeah. Okay. What about deep learning? So deep learning falls under machine learning, yeah. Why is it? It is because deep learning, applies one of the machine learning techniques. Just now I mentioned neural network. So under machine learning, there are quite a few algorithms, and one of it is neural network. So neural network is the one that falls under deep learning. Okay. So there is we'll discuss more of this as we go on. Okay. Now, what is the difference actually when you talk about the traditional programming and machine learning programming? So in traditional programming, you have the data, so you design and develop the program, so the computer will process, the program and the data, and we get output. We get output. So usually in the traditional program, before we run the program, we already know what is expected and what is the expected output. But for machine learning, we have the data, we have the output. So we focus on our training data and training output. So from the data and the output, the machine learning will learn, and actually what the computer does is that, it will train the machine learning, meaning now with this data, this is the output, this data, this is the output. So here it basically is the training process. So it's like the human, we have the training process, we learn, how to recognize the characters, how to recognize the numbers, and what is the output? The output is the machine learning model. Notice that we have all these data, and then we come up with some general idea of the model. Yeah, general idea of the model. Yeah, so we are looking at the model. What do you mean by the model? So we're talking about the architecture. We're talking about the hyperparameters. Yeah, the values of the hyperparameters. Why? So that when we have a new data coming in using the machine learning model, then we can get the results. Yeah, but then to get the model, that is where we need to do experiments. We need to do a lot of fine tuning. Okay, we need to do a lot of experiments. Yeah, to get the best model that we can. Yeah, so this is where in this class we learn about all the various algorithms in order to train our machine learning. Okay, and then how can we improve the performance so that our model, okay, can produce um, the best result. Yeah, so that's the idea basically. What we will cover in class. Yeah. Now, if there's anything dekat chat, to please inform me because I do not have any notification here. Yeah, or if you have questions, maybe you can WhatsApp. Yeah. Okay. Right. Any questions so far?
No, no.
No, all right. So no, so let's go more in a bit deeper about machine learning. Yeah. So just now I mentioned, okay, we have the data. Okay. So meaning now here it indicates emails are labeled as spam or not spam. This is what we mean. We have the input, the data, okay, and then we have the output. The label here, we're talking about the output. Yeah. Why? Because we need the machine learning algorithm. Yeah. The machine learning program needs to do the learning. Yeah. By trying to associate. Yeah. With the input and the output. Yeah. So the algorithm will tell it that, okay, with this input this is the output, with this input this is the output. Yeah, that's how the learning process takes place. Yeah, so from the machine learning model, then when we have a new email coming in, then it can tell whether it's a spam or not spam. Yeah, so this is an example of a classification, yeah, or recognition type of problem, okay, which can be solved using machine learning. Yeah. So this is an example, yeah, of machine learning. Okay, now when we talk about machine learning, there are various types of machine learning. Basically, there are three types of machine learning. We have supervised. So the one that I described earlier about the emails, where we want to classify whether it's a spam or not spam. So it's an example of a supervised, yeah. Supervised machine learning. Why is it called supervised? Because we already know what is the output. So for example here, yeah, we provide the machine learning algorithm can indicate the input. Yeah, if you have the input, yeah, the shape, and if it has six sides, that means that is a square. Yeah, so mean now we provide, okay, the input data and we provide with the output. Yeah, so that's how you can understand. Yeah, okay, so it's just like when you teach your sisters or maybe your children, yeah, how to read. Yeah, how to read. So you show a picture, right? Picture, let's say the picture of an apple, you say this is apple. Yeah, or maybe you show a real image of a car, you say this is a car, this is a rose, for example, this is a flower. Yeah, so that is an example of supervised. Yeah, supervised machine learning technique. Yeah, so meaning there's a teacher to indicate, okay, if this is the input, that is the output. Yeah. But sometimes we may not have output. We only have data. Okay, we only have training data, but we do not have the output. Yeah. So how can we perform classification or recognition? Yeah. So basically, like we human, okay, when we have data, yeah, but we do not know what is the output. So basically what we can do is that we try to look for similarities among the data. Yeah. So the data that look similar, they are grouped, yeah, or cluster, yeah, into one cluster or one group. Yeah. So the idea is that, yeah, for unsupervised, we try to look for patterns. Yeah, and then we cluster, okay, all those data into the same cluster. So for example, here, let's say you have these four different shapes. So this one here looks similar. So they are grouped into one cluster. So this is like one classification. So this one looks similar. So we cluster them together. So this is one classification. So in this type of, for example, in this type of data, we have two clusters. Yeah. So that's the idea. Yeah. But then since we do not know the output, yeah, so the performance of unsupervised machine learning algorithm, yeah, is evaluated differently compared to supervised. Yeah, so for unsupervised, it has a different way how we can evaluate the performance and improve the performance. Yeah, okay, so that is what we will discuss more. Okay. The last machine learning technique is reinforcement. Now, reinforcement is a bit different, where it doesn't have any training input, and it does not have training output. But okay, it is given the goal, okay, or the objective, and then the some kind of rewards. Yeah, some kind of rewards, because sometimes we human, we also teach. Yeah, by providing rewards. Yeah, if you get the thing to, if you do it right, or penalties if you do it wrong. Yeah, and the idea is that we want to maximize the rewards. Yeah, so when the rewards are maximized, so that is where, yeah, uh, the actions, yeah, or the algorithms, okay, can be applied. Yeah, so for example here, for example, now you, if you were to apply reinforcement learning, okay, for this particular object, yeah, so we provide some kind of rules. If you're correct, yeah, so you get 10 marks. If incorrect, you get minus 5 marks, for example. Yeah, so the machine will, the reinforcement learning algorithm, let's say, well, try this one, try here, so it's wrong. Yeah, so wrong, penalty, deduct 5 points. Try here or get 10 marks. Yeah, meaning that's correct. So when it knows that putting it here is correct, so you, this is where you will just keep repeating and putting it here. Yeah, so that is where the rewards will be maximized, and then that's how it knows that this shape here to be placed in here. So that's the idea. Yeah, so meaning the learning process here is by computing the rewards and the penalties. Yeah, so that's reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning, basically it is being applied in games. Yeah, because in games usually we do not have the training input and the training output, because there's a lot of levels, there's a lot of situations in the game. So reinforcement learning is being applied in games. But nowadays, like this year, reinforcement learning is started to apply in other applications also. Yeah, so these are the three types of learning, yeah, learning approach for machine learning. And of course, since deep learning falls under machine learning, so under deep learning also we have supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement. So those are the things that we'll discuss in this class. Yeah, so any questions so far, anything that you want to ask, or anything that you want to share? You found something, you heard something, you read something that you want to share? Anybody?
Puan,
Yeah,
for unsupervised learning,
unsupervised. Okay.
the machine will learn how to categorize the object automatically. Yeah.
um well, when it performs the clustering, yeah, for unsupervised, so once it do the clustering, yeah, cluster meaning group them together, whose data looks very similar. So once the data has been clustered or grouped, then we can do the classification. Do I answer your question, Nazim?
Yes, Puan.
But we will talk more, yeah, as we go on. Yeah. So any other questions? No question. Okay. Okay. Now here I mentioned here two main types of machine learning. Yeah, supervised and unsupervised. This is the most common. Yeah. So reinforcement learning is not really very popular, but it's getting popular. So that's why I mentioned here the main. Yeah, supervised and unsupervised. So this is just a review, okay, of what we have discussed just now. Okay, so for supervised, we have the target or the labeled or the outputs. Yeah. So we have the goal, yeah. So for example, we want to detect fraud, yeah. For unsupervised, we do not have the target or the output. We find some structure or some similarities, okay. And then, for example, here we can segment, okay. We can do segmentation. Okay. We can also do classification, yeah. So meaning now, once we apply unsupervised, then we can apply supervised. So that's the idea, yeah. Once you apply unsupervised, we cluster them into groups. Okay, then we can apply supervised technique. Yeah, so that's the idea. Okay, so we talk about unsupervised, we've talked about supervised. Okay, now what do we mean by training input? What do we mean by training output? Yeah, okay, now this is an example of what we call training input, and this is the training output. So these are all what we call features, yeah, input features for all the training input to classify the flowers, yeah, to classify the flowers. So here sepal, when you talk about sepal ni actually the one at the bottom ni kan, the one at the bottom ni, that is the sepal, and then the petal, that's the flower lah, the petal, yeah. So this is one example to do the classification of the flower. Take the measurements of the sepal length and width, petal length and petal width, yeah. So during the training process for for supervised machine learning. Now, why is it that we decide this to be supervised? Because we have the training input, we have the training output. Yeah, so meaning now we train our machine learning, the supervised machine learning with this input, this should be the output. With this input, this should be the output. Yeah, so that's the idea, yeah, of supervised machine learning. Notice that every time that we talk about this machine learning, we are not really talking about the algorithm. Yeah, we focus on the data. Yeah, we focus on the data. That's why just now when I show you the figure, yeah, for machine learning, we focus on what is the data that we have, what is the output that we have, okay, and then okay, what we want is the model. Yeah, so um, the algorithm is like secondary. The main thing is that we have the data. Yeah. Okay. So this is another example of what we mean by if we have supervised. Yeah. Supervised meaning this is an example of one feature of one input: transaction time, transaction amount, the location, category of purchase. Okay. With that, then you can identify whether it's a fraud credit card transaction or not. Yeah. So this is just an example. Yeah. Okay. Meaning now, if we have the input and we have the output, then we can apply the supervised machine learning. Yeah. Now, some other examples. Now, so far what we have here, okay, our data are just numbers. Yeah, data are numbers. Yeah. So for numbers, then the classification or the prediction or the recognition will be very straightforward. Yeah? But sometimes our input can be images. Yeah, it can be images. Yeah, or it can be sound. Yeah, it can be a videos. Can be a videos. Yeah, so there can be so many types of input. Yeah, nowadays, okay, when we have this collection of input, we call them a data lake. We can have a data lake where the data all can be various types. Um, okay, so this is an example. Okay, let's say if we have an image, okay, the features that we can extract, or the input that we can extract from the image can be color, can be texture. What do you mean by texture? Texture, we're talking about the pixel intensities. Yeah, we play around with the pixel intensities or it can also be the shape. The shape, are talking about the boundaries here, yeah, the boundaries or the edges. These are the common features, yeah, that we can extract from an image. And these are examples of classifiers, meaning the machine learning algorithms. These are examples. Yeah, we talk more about this later. Yeah, so meaning now when we talk about supervised machine learning, yeah, we talk about what is the input, yeah, the features, and then what is the classifier to do the classification or prediction or recognition. Yeah, so under machine learning we have these two phases, two steps. One, what is the features that we want to apply? Yeah? What is the classifier that we want to apply? Which one is the best? Which feature should you choose? Which classifier that you should choose? Yeah. Now, so in AI or in machine learning, there is no one best feature, there is no one best classifier, yeah, because everything depends on your data, yeah. So that is why for the assignments, you need to do a lot of experiments. Yeah, you try all these various features, you try all these various classifiers for your data, and then as a conclusion, then that is your conclusion. You indicate which feature and which classifier is good for your classification, for example. Yeah, that's why just now when I showed you the examples of the students technical report, they have a lot of experiments because they experiment on the various features, various classifiers, yeah, then conclude which one is the best for your data. Yeah, because sometimes when you Google, let's say, yeah, for other researchers findings, yeah, they may have different data, so the features and the classifiers that they use is different. Yeah, they might be different. So um, um, the same feature, the same classifier, the different data, different results. Yeah, so that's why the experiments are important. Yeah, but we will talk more about that when we get to the lab assignment. Yeah, so this is another example of image, yeah, classification supervised. Yeah, so these are just examples of features. Yeah, this is example of texture feature. This is an example of color features. Yeah, this is example, meaning now here to just to indicate if you have different feature, this one texture, this one color, same classifier, result different. Yeah, this one here, the same feature, different classifier, different result. This is where you need to do experiments. Yeah, okay, but there's a lot of features, there's a lot of classifiers, but you do not have to try all. Yeah, I usually just recommend for you to just select three features, three classifiers, do the experiments. And if you have time, if you think you want to do more, then of course you'll get extra points. Yeah, but then that is something which is optional. But usually for the first and the second assignment, yeah, just maybe choose three features, three classifiers, and do the experiments. Yeah, which feature, which classifier, that one we'll talk more. Yeah, we'll talk more later. Okay, reinforcement learning. This is just an example of what we mean by reinforcement learning. Yeah. So for example, this is the program, the reinforcement learning program. Yeah. It will observe. Okay. So we provide with the rewards. Okay. Let's say if you can get the water. Yeah. Um, you get rewards. Okay, if you cannot if you cannot fill up the pail with water, you get penalties. Yeah. So that means how to decide which one to go at the beginning. That one is random. Yeah, it's random. So for example, this one goes to here, so get penalties. And then repeat. The next time go to here, get rewards. And repeat. Go to here, get rewards, Then it knows that should go here. Okay. For the objective to achieve the goal. Do not go here. So that's the idea of reinforcement learning. Yeah. In this class we talk about the games. Yeah, how we can apply reinforcement learning in games. Okay. 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 So any questions so far? Okay, so if no question, let's take a 5 minute break. Yeah, take a 5 minute break, and then we will continue 9:25. Yeah, okay. Machine learning. Yeah, why? Because it needs to extract a lot of features. Yeah, in order to do the training. Yeah. So for deep learning, usually we require a lot more data. But how a lot is a lot? That one also, it's based on maybe from your readings, yeah, what other people have done, yeah, but then usually it gets in thousands and thousands for the deep learning. But again, it depends also on how many classification that you have, you know, how robust is your data, kan, yeah. So for example, macam kalau the identify or recognize the butterfly just now, yeah. So if one image you only have one butterfly, but then the butterfly is in different colors, different shapes, yeah. So then maybe you, and then let's say lah, you just want to classify whether it's a butterfly or not. Only two classes, yeah. So maybe the data that you need, let's say 500 butterfly, 100 not butterfly, I think that one should be okay. Yeah. But then if in one image you have more than one butterfly, and in that one image you have different shapes and different colors of butterfly, so that means now your input now will be robust, a lot more varieties, yeah. Then that's where you need more data. Yeah. So that's the idea. No, so it depends on the how many classes that you have. It depends on how many objects inside that image that you want to classify, yeah, to determine the a good number of training data. But otherwise, it's trial and error. Yeah, trial and error. So the idea of deep learning is that, yeah, we do not have to identify what features to use. Yeah. So that's the difference between deep learning and deep learning. So under deep learning, it can still be supervised, okay, if we have the training input and we have the training output. And it can also be unsupervised because we have all this data, but then we do not know what is the output. Yeah. So how can we using unsupervised deep learning, yeah, to perform the actions? And under deep learning also we can apply reinforcement, yeah. So that's the idea. Okay. So we've talked about it just now. Okay. Now, okay, this is the trending of the deep learning and all the other machine learning. So this one here was taken in 2018. It was like 2 years, okay, 2 years ago. Yeah. So notice that the trending from deep learning is getting popular. Yeah, it's getting popular. So deep learning now is getting popular. Yeah. Why? Because right now we have a lot more powerful devices, a lot more powerful computers. So it doesn't matter if you have thousands and millions of data, we can still process using deep learning. Yeah. So deep learning is getting popular because we have all these powerful devices. Yeah. So since a lot of people apply deep learning, so the trending of applying the machine learning now is getting not popular, yeah. But then sometimes not all problems, yeah, I mentioned just now, not all problems are suitable using deep learning. So we still have a lot, some applications where the machine learning here, yeah, are being applied, yeah. Notice here, naive Bayes is not as popular. Okay, we have neural network, SVM here, yeah, decision tree. So these are some examples lah of the machine learning techniques. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I mentioned just now. Okay, when should you use machine learning? When should you use deep learning? Yeah. So depends on your training data. So sometimes you may just have very few training data. Yeah. So you cannot apply deep learning. Well, if you have so few data, if you want to apply deep learning, now actually there can be there can be another way, yeah. But then otherwise your um, accuracy is not very high, so that means now your model will not perform very good. Yeah, of course we want a model which can achieve or you can produce almost 100% accurate. Yeah, accuracy almost 100%. Yeah, so it's not impossible to get 100%. Yeah, so that's what we are looking for. Okay. Features, if you want to have your own features, so machine learning. Yeah, otherwise it's deep learning. Algorithms, yeah, so if you want to try a lot of algorithms, it's machine learning. Deep learning, not that many. Yeah, if you have a lot of time, yeah, to come up with a good model, yeah, a lot of time, so deep learning, because deep learning, since it requires a lot of training data, so the training time will be longer. Yeah, even though you use powerful PC, yeah, powerful computers, yes, it still takes time compared to, okay, if you have very short data with apa tu, machine learning. Yeah, so it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. Any questions so far about this? So one of the questions that I usually like to ask during the test, given this problem, yeah, what technique should you use, machine learning or deep learning, and why? So your answer can be different, yeah, among you guys, because it depends on all this, yeah. So usually, I think in AI, okay, in machine learning, there is no one answer. Yeah, there's always more than one answer. Depends on your reasoning. Yeah. Okay. Now, that can, maybe during your readings, yeah, you found something else, say some other reasons, yeah. So I hope that you can share, yeah, in this class, yeah. So meaning now to answer the questions for your test, for example, or to come up with the conclusions for your lab, not necessarily those things are covered, are stated in the slides, yeah, because whatever that I have in the slides, yeah, they are just some of it. Yeah, there can be a lot more outside there. Yeah, and anyway, this machine learning, they are keep advancing. Yeah, it keeps evolving, so there are a lot of new things. Yeah, so sometimes it's very difficult to catch up with the latest things, so I hope that everybody will share whatever that you find. Okay. All right, the trending now, computer vision. Yeah, computer vision memang it's trending right now. It's getting popular and popular. That's why in this class we'll still work on computer vision. Yeah. Okay, right. For example, here now in this image, yeah, we cannot do just classification on this one image. Yeah, why? Because in this image we have a lot of objects. Yeah, so this is where we will detect the object and classify. Detect the object and classify. This is for the third assignment. Yeah, so the algorithm is a bit different. So we talk about the detect and recognize in like the third quarter of the semester. Yeah, so detection and recognition now, yeah, is getting popular. In agriculture, for example, we have the drones, yeah, where it has the camera, so it will take the images, yeah. Then the machine learning software can indicate whether, the crops can be harvested or if there's any diseases and so on. Yeah, so machine learning, deep learning are being applied a lot right now in agriculture. Health, of course, yeah, yeah. A lot of machine learning, deep learning being applied in healthcare, yeah. In telemedicine, for example, disease management, yeah, data analytics, imaging, yeah. Yeah, and like this one here, since right now the COVID-19 pandemic, so we have software to detect whether a person is wearing a mask or not. Yeah, and nowadays people are also working on measuring the social distance. Yeah, social distance among the human. Yeah, to make sure that there's at least 1 meter. Yeah, otherwise then the software will mix do some notification. Yeah, so that also, the current research in computer vision. So besides that, okay, so we have here AIoT. Actually right now we have AI, okay, on the internet. Yeah, So we have wearables right now. I think everybody now, the generations right now, we have these wearable devices to for the health purposes, yeah, to keep track of your heartbeat, for example, or maybe your uh, number of steps or your activities, yeah, smart cities, yeah, smart industry, smart homes, yeah, everything here nowadays, yeah. So AI, machine learning, deep learning are being applied. Prediction and forecasting also now is getting popular and popular, yeah, to predict something, yeah, to predict whether the COVID-19 cases will be lower or will be increased, you know, do a lot of predictions, forecasting, yeah, and real time, okay, detect anomalies real time, yeah. So these are some of the current research, yeah. Nowadays, natural language processing also is getting popular, especially like sentiment analysis. You know, right now we want to classify the emotions, yeah, okay, the translation, you know, where you know you do not have to learn the language in order to communicate with another person. Yeah, nowadays there's a lot of apps, yeah, that can do translation automatically. Yeah, okay, extraction and question answering. So natural language processing. Yeah, so sentiment analysis. We'll discuss about it. Yeah, briefly nanti in one of the classes. Yeah, reinforcement learning this year, okay, is getting popular, it's getting trending, but then we do not have time to work on to discuss on all this. We only discuss about the games, yeah, how reinforcement learning can be applied in games, but then it can also be applied in other areas also, yeah. So these are the trending of right now, yeah. Okay, this okay, since this one here about the some other trending, yeah, in AI, yeah. This one is autonomous, of course. Just now I mentioned about drones, yeah, in agriculture, autonomous car, food delivery, and yeah, right now we already have robots to do the delivery. Autonomous home appliance, so you can check the refrigerator if the food, yeah, is reducing, for example, it can automatically make the order, yeah. So it's very nice, can, yeah. Nowadays we already have apps for that. Social credit algorithms, this one here use facial recognition. So facial recognition now is getting popular and popular, yeah. um, where the purpose of approval or denial of access to consumer products or social services. So this one here has been launched in China. Actually, they have launched this apps where if you were to make any what do you call, if you were to break any laws, for example, yeah. So it do the recognition, face recognition, and then you will be denied access to social media. I think for the Chinese, it's very, they are too obsessive with the social media. So not having to access social media for a few hours will be a punishment to them. Yeah. That one here, yeah, they call it social apa tu? Social credit. Okay, social credit algorithms. Yeah. What else? Oh, okay. This one here is all the other machine learning methods, evolutionary computation. Actually, this one and the swarm, they are for optimization. Yeah. So they can be hybrid. Okay, with our machine learning or deep learning. Okay, to get better results. This one is fuzzy. So we'll just talk more about this briefly sometime later. Yeah. Okay, so that's all about the introduction, okay, to the class, yeah, to the topics in this class. Okay. So any questions that you want to ask? Okay, so if no questions, then we'll go to, I'll briefly introduce about Python. Okay, we'll learn more about this as we go on, yeah. So,
Puan,
yes.
Reza has a question in the chat box.
Oh, chat, yeah, okay. Itulah tak nampak chat, okay. Oh, okay. Examples of different AI, different machine learning, and deep learning. Okay. All right. So, when we talk about the algorithms, yeah, when we talk about the algorithms, yeah, okay, when we talk about the AI just now, okay, um, um, okay, wait, go to, okay, this one here. When it's about AI here, okay, it can be a combination of software and hardware. Yeah, of course we have all the robots. Yeah, the software. Those basically when I talk about AI, as long as the software or the hardware, a combination of both, okay, can act and think like human. Yeah. So then, of course, the AI, in order for the software or hardware to act and think or make decision like humans, we need to apply machine learning. So under machine learning, we have various algorithms. Yeah. So the algorithms just now that we have, yeah, neural network, yeah, we have evolutionary computation, we have fuzzy, we have swarm, yeah, and then under this uh, techniques, okay, or under these methods there are a lot more, yeah, that is where we will learn more as we go on, yeah. So under the machine learning, under this neural network, yeah, we can have supervised, unsupervised, and also reinforcement, yeah. So deep learning also we have supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. But what are they? Okay, what are the algorithms? What do we mean by supervised machine learning? Those are the things that we'll discuss later, yeah. Not today, but then it should be in the notes, yeah. Yang on prediction, yeah, on prediction. So basically there's a lot of algorithms nanti, ya. Okay. Before this, I dah use sekejap ya, notes. Use supervised machine learning. I think the one that I gave you before this, ya. Sekejap ya. Nak kasih overall tu ya. Overall sekejap. Ni pun tak ada dekat mana I letak ya, sekejap ya. Kalau nak cari tak jumpa all those techniques. Nak kata overall ya. Ni dah kasih semayang ya. Alright, let's share. Yeah, the previous one. Okay, but then okay, we'll talk about it as we go on. Tak jumpa lah pula the techniques tu ya. But then basically, okay, katalah kat sini. Okay, these are examples of supervised machine learning algorithms that we will discuss. Yeah, double, scale, nearest neighbor, and so on. Yeah, under unsupervised, we'll discuss about clustering, yeah, techniques. For deep learning, we'll discuss about CNN. We'll discuss about for the detection and recognition, we have fast RCNN and so on, yeah. So there can be various algorithms under each, and we will talk more as we go on, yeah. We'll talk more as we go on. Oh, you got your answer already, okay. All right, so yeah, so today we just some brief introduction, yeah. So just some brief here. So anything else? So kita tak sampai lagi kat tempat dia, ya. Okay. So now Python, ya. About Python. Okay. Now these are the three what do you call these are the two TensorFlow, the frameworks that we'll discuss. I think you've heard of Keras, TensorFlow, and then we'll work on Python. Yeah, we'll work on Python. Okay. So Python basically is open source, yeah, language. So when it's open source, so of course there's a lot of the codings available on the internet. That's why you don't have to worry if you do not know Python. But if you were to know some general knowledge of the syntax of any programming, yeah, so you should be able to uh, follow whatever that we discuss in this class. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So Python supports modules packages. So modules packages which provided by the communities. Yeah, the communities provide all these modules, packages, libraries which we can always reuse. Yeah, we can always reuse them. Yeah. Okay. So now Python, okay, about the language itself, some of the basic things that you need to know. Basic things that you need to know is that one, the Python uses new lines to complete a command. Meaning now, when you have a statement, and then you go to the next line, meaning the first statement to ends. Yeah. Uh, so you cannot combine more than one statement in a line. Yeah. Uh, Compared to, let's say, C++, it ends a statement in a semicolon. So in one line, you can have more than one statements where you separate them with semicolon. That's different. Yeah. In Python, indentation is very important. When you indent, it knows that it's a compound statement. Yeah. Kalau compared to C++, for example, you have the curly brackets to indicate open and end, but not in Python. Those are the main things that you need to know. Yeah. So let's take a look here at the introduction. Yeah. To Python. Okay, so here's an example of what do you call it? You can it provides the tutorials on Python. You guys can see this, yeah. Okay, so some of the examples, yeah. Let's say the syntax, yeah. So usually the first programming assignment is hello world, kan? Yeah. So you just have the word print hello world. Whatever that is in the double quotes will be printed. Yeah, so we can. Okay, so this is an example of Python program. Yeah, so let's say now when I mention indentation, so let's say indentation here is very important. Yeah, so this is an example of if statement, the syntax. Yeah, I don't think you'll be using any of the control structures. Yeah, in our lab assignments. Yeah, but then just to tell you that, okay, now when you have this indentation, we have this result. Let's say now you do not indent them. Yeah. What did I? Okay. Sorry. Let's try again. Okay. This one kita dah run kan? Okay. We got the results. Yeah. So if you were to delete the indentation when you run, it gives you error. It gives you here error indentation. Yeah. So just now I mentioned indentation is important. Why? It indicates that this is the statement that we want to execute when this is true. Yeah. Kalau C++ ke Java ke, it doesn't matter kan, the indentation. But then in Python, okay, at least one, okay, space you indent, yeah, and you run, then you get the result. Yeah, so it's very important for the indentation. Yeah, okay. Okay. So basically for the indentation, okay, what else? Okay, this also some examples. Yeah. Okay, so when you run, okay, the indentation, it doesn't matter. This one just one space, this one a lot more. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as it's indented. Yeah. So these are the common syntax that you need to to know, okay, about Python. And then we'll talk more about this as we go on. Yeah, this is not like a programming class. Yeah, so this is an application kind of class. So we will not really learn a word line by line or the syntax of Python. This is just some brief introduction to Python. But if you want to know more, okay, you can what do you call it? Take a look at this. Yeah. Okay, now, just now I mentioned about packages or libraries, yeah, by this open source software. So, um, to read a file, okay, uh, you can use this, okay, to read a file. But sometimes our data is not text, our data are numbers, yeah. So, Python communities provide a library which they call pandas, yeah, pandas, yeah, where, okay, it's a library where you can okay, just import, yeah, pandas, yeah, and then you can use the pandas here, import pandas as pd, and then this is how you can read the data, yeah, read the file, yeah. So most of the files that we will be using for the assignment in this class are in the csv format, CSV format. Yeah. Okay. So besides pandas, yeah, we also have just now NumPy. Yeah, NumPy also is another module where we can perform numerical computation. Yeah, numerical computation. Actually, whatever that you want to do, you can still apply right from scratch using Python. Yeah, but then since the modules are available, so we might just use them. Yeah. Then we will go on. I will discuss how to use them. I will show you how to use them. Yeah. So another library, matplot library. This one here to plot graphs. Yeah, to plot graphs. So these are the three libraries. Yeah, the three modules or the three packages, which we'll be using a lot. Yeah, for your assignment. Yeah. So that's some brief introduction to Python. Yeah. So let's go back, yeah, to here. What else? Okay. Now, so the software that we'll be using for the assignment is scikit-learn. Scikit-learn actually it consists of libraries of the machine learning algorithms. Yeah, for the machine learning algorithms, supervised and unsupervised, so that you can just import the libraries without having to write them from scratch. Yeah, so that's why I mentioned in this class, if since you do not have to write from scratch all the algorithms, you need to understand them. You need to understand, you need to be able to describe what they are, explain what they are, how it works. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go to here. Okay, so here it this, okay, so scikit-learn, yeah. So it is it provides you with the various supervised and unsupervised algorithms. So for example here under supervised, these are all the various supervised machine learning algorithms. Yeah, machine learning algorithms. For example, just now I mentioned about I mentioned briefly about support vector machine, for example. So it provides you with the explanation. So if you, my slides may be very brief. So if you want to understand more, so you can refer to the scikit-learn. So it provides you with all the information here. Yeah, how when you do the classification, how it works. But we'll talk more later about this next week. Yeah, so it provides you with all these explanation, with all these codings. Yeah. Okay. So just now I mentioned about the iris data set. So let's take a look at this. Yeah. Okay. So it provides you with the examples, the codings. Yeah. You can just straight away copy this and paste into the Python editor and run. Yeah. So that's how easy it is applying machine learning when we have this scikit-learn. Yeah. So that's where just now I mentioned we need to import NumPy. We just import the matplot library, we import the sklearn, the scikit-learn, yeah. So we import the SVM. This is the example. We talk more about this, yeah. So once we import them, and then we can just use them. Dekat sini, yeah. Can just straight away call them, yeah. So it's very easy, yeah, very easy. So we'll discuss more about this, but this is just to tell you these are all the various machine learning algorithms, okay, available, but we may not have enough time to discuss all, okay. But then these are all the various learning algorithms under supervised, yeah. In fact, ya, you boleh download sebenarnya, ya. Ada kat bawah sini. Oh, bukan dekat sini, ya, tapi sekejap. For examples. Okay. You can download all the source code. Yeah, you can download all the source code. So that's why I said you don't have to worry about how to write the Python code from scratch. So right now, actually, you can just download all this source code, and then it provides you all the various source codes available. Yeah, provided. In the examples on this page here, okay, and then you can try lah later on. Yeah, you can try later on, but then we will only discuss some of it, yeah, as we go on. Yeah, okay. So maybe today we'll end early, okay, but then I suggest for you guys to download yang ni, yeah, dekat examples, okay. And then do the installation, okay. The installation tu, yeah, you follow sini, okay. So install the latest Python 3.9, yeah, 3.9.2, and then after that, okay, this is the first part, okay, you just follow je, and then ni you do this, install scikit-learn ni dekat command window. Everybody tahu kan command window kan? Once you dah, okay, katalah kat sini pun boleh juga, I pergi sini, let's say. Okay, so you download the latest one ni, you click this, yeah. And then you click yang recommended lah, okay. When you click this, and then it will download, and then you can just double click, and then it will bring you to the the page. Provide here the example. Oh, tak ada. Okay, let me try that remind you guys. Okay, bila you download, dekat sini, sebab I already download, yeah. So my page is a bit different, tapi for you guys nanti dia adalah install. Ada something kat sini install, and dekat bawah sini ada dua command apa tu, tick box yang you kena tick. So make sure you tick kat bawah sini something to do with the setting of the path. So you kena buat yang tu, ya. You tick something to do with the path, and then you click lah install, okay, and then you just follow lah, okay, just follow, and then it will install the Python, yeah. So once dah install Python, the next thing is that you kena install scikit-learn. Okay, so scikit-learn ni install dekat, you boleh dekat command window lah kan. Command window cmd ni command you run as administrator, yeah. Run as administrator, okay. Yeah, dekat sini lah you type pip install, follow lah yang ada dekat sini tadi tu. Yang ini, ya, yang ini, ya. So once you have installed this, ya, then you need to install the other packages also. Yang tadi tu I mention pandas. So pip install pandas. Okay, you install. Lepas tu you install apa lagi tadi? Matplotlib. matplotlib library, yeah, enter, and then you install also tadi lagi satu numpy. Yeah. So as we go on nanti, sometimes some of the programs do require some other libraries. So bila you run, kata dia kasih message kata cannot find the function. So you go to the command window ni and then just pip and install. Yeah, pip tu is the command to install the package for Python. Yeah. So you can do that. Okay. So then once we have done that, so whatever coding yang you dah download tadi tu, you boleh run. Yeah, you boleh run. So I hope that by today nanti or cuba install everything. If you have problems, you can discuss dekat group. Yeah. Next week nantilah baru kita discuss about specifically about all those algorithms. Yeah. Okay. And then how to apa tu? What to do lah. Yeah. But then let me just show you example. Share programs to demo. Kata nak demo. Okay, this is an example of the iris data. This is in CS. If you have your Excel file, kan, you all tahu kan bila you save as you can save as CSV file, yeah. CSV file ni, yeah. So Excel file, you save it as CSV file, yeah. Okay, now the data, yeah, to be used for the Python ni, yeah, for the scikit-learn, okay, you need to have the labels, yeah, you need to have the labels ni, yeah. Okay. So this is an example of the iris tadi lah, yeah, iris, yeah. Okay, so these are all the data, the output, yeah, output. So misal kata ini contoh iris. This is just an example of the support vector machine. We'll talk more about this. It's just to show you, yeah. This is to show only. Okay, this is how short is the program is to do the prediction or classification using SVM. I import pandas here, so this is how we can read the file, the SV file, and then we indicate, okay, from the data, kan, the data tu we drop class. Kenapa kita drop class? Sebab this one here is not part of the training data. All this only is the training data. That's why you want to drop this. Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, and then so the Y here, this one is the output. So X the input, Y is the output. Then I import from sklearn, import the how we do the splitting. Okay, so we talk more about this, what we mean by 30% and so on. Yeah, so we learn more about this, but that is just to show you, okay, just one statement here to import SVM, yeah, and then we can just run the program. This one here actually is available masa you download all the codes tu, you look for SVM, yeah, you look for SVM. So notice kan, the codings are all dah available dalam yang source code tu. So that's why you don't need to really write from scratch. Ini lambat sikit. Idle. Katakan apa tadi ya? Salah tekan lah. Sekejap. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, what is expected lah, yeah, when you run your program, yeah. So we discuss more what precision all this, yeah. But then that's how short your program is using scikit-learn, yeah. So this is another example. Kata this one here, prediction. For your first assignment, yeah. To do prediction, yeah. So this is an example of what the previous students have done. Okay, this is the data. Ni dapat di-download somewhere. The apa tu? Data from China. I mean data regarding China's punya information. These are all the symptoms, and then this is the output. Whether with the symptoms, the patient infected or not, infected with COVID or not. So we want to know which of all these symptoms are related to COVID. So in this case here, the student has 5,000 data, yeah, 2,500 positive, 2,500 negative, yeah, negative. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here, random forest. Okay, we'll talk more about all this. Yeah, so this is an example of random forest. So let's say run. Okay, so wait, this is just some results. Accuracy. This is accuracy. And more. Okay, for random forest. Okay, so it provides extra, what do you call it, information. Yes, so indicates here the relationship between the symptoms, yeah, and whether it, if with these symptoms affected or not. Yeah, so this is an example of what the students have done for the assignment on prediction. Yeah, assignment prediction. But just to tell you, you know how short it is. It does not involve any if statement, does not involve any loops. Yeah, so that's why I did not even discuss about the loops or that. So you don't have to read all, just simple sequence. Yeah, simple sequence of statements. Yeah, okay. So those are just some examples of what is expected. Yeah, what is expected for you guys for your assignment. Yeah, for your assignment. Okay, so this one you just discuss about. Okay, this one here we'll talk about later. This one here we'll talk about this when we talk about deep learning. Yeah, so right now machine learning just about the scikit-learn. Okay, machine learning about scikit-learn only. Yeah, um, uh, for this class, it's we are concerned about your experimental analysis so that you can understand which feature, which classifier is significant. Okay, for your data, which is the best meaning output the highest accuracy. Yeah, so you do not have to worry about producing GUI, yeah, interface. So you will not be expected to produce GUI. But if you are interested even to work on your own, Tkinter here, yeah, is where you can use to create GUI, yeah, to link for your to link with your machine learning or deep learning model. Yeah, so we'll talk more about this as we go on. Yeah, because today is just like a brief introduction. So this one here we'll talk more about all this as we go on with the semester. Yeah, so we talk this one here. We talk more about this when we talk about the evaluation. Yeah, evaluation. Okay. Now, so um, how to start a machine learning project. Okay, so define a problem and data. Okay, what is the problem that you want to do, what is the data that you want to use. Okay, now I mentioned just now the data regarding the symptoms. Yeah, the students get it from the internet. Yeah, so a popular apa tu source of data set is Kaggle. Okay, Kaggle data set. So my suggestion is that for you guys to go to this website. Okay. This is just suggestion, not necessary. Yeah. So because it provides various data sets. Actually, this one here shared by researchers also, their communities. Yeah. So we want to, researchers sometimes it's very difficult to get data. Okay, to test your model, for example. Yeah. Or so look for the data set here. Okay, so for example, if you want to do classification, actually prediction also can be here. So look for all these data sets, yeah, and select something which you find interesting, yeah, which you find interesting. And what you want to do is to do prediction, okay, or classification. Now the data is not images, the data are just numbers. Yeah, just now what I showed you just now. Yeah, it can be all binary numbers, it can be that like iris tadi kan, all numbers with decimal points. Yeah. Oh, but notice that the output just now for the COVID-19 just now, the output is just either 1 or 0. Yeah, so those are examples of what we mean by categorical data. Yeah, categorical data. Um, Kalau tadi scheme of work kan, I mention the first one, yeah, kita nak buat assignment adalah prediction for categorical data. So what do we mean by categorical data? Meaning now the output tu the numbers tu macam certain categories, yeah. Like it can be 1 or 0. Like macam flowers tu just specific number of flowers, yeah. So those are categorical data, yeah. But nanti for your second assignment lab 1 ni ada dua. A, predict using categorical. The second one, predict using continuous. So maybe as you cari data set tu kan, look for these two. What do you mean continuous? Continuous tu meaning now output tu. Dekat output tu, the numbers tu dia bermacam-macam. Contohnya kata cases patients COVID ni yang recovered. Yeah, numbers like daily itu numbers dia berbeza-beza kan. Let's say yang recovered yesterday can be 1,000, today can be 900, tomorrow can be 700. Yeah, the day before, last 2 weeks it can be 1,200. So that's what we mean by continuous. Yeah, there is no like specific categories. Kita boleh categorize, ya. Yang macam infected symptom tadi, 1 or 0, 1 infected, 0 not infected. So we can categorize them into 2 classes, for example. Yeah. So that is categorical. So continuous also. So meaning now you look for that kind of data sets. Yeah. You look for that kind of data set daripada Kaggle ni. So what is it that you want to predict? Predict ni something macam you nak classify jugalah what will happen, what is the value for the next day. So look for all this, look for the data, but this is just my suggestion from Kaggle. If you can find the data from other websites, it is up to you. It's up to you. But then as for the first homework ni kan, look for the data, categorical and continuous data, data set. So you do not have to download them first. Don't download first, but then I need the information first. What is it that you want to predict, for categorical and continuous data? What is the size of your data set? Meaning now what is the number of rows, what is the number of columns, because sometimes the data tu kadang mungkin berpuluh-puluh ribu lines, of data, besar sangat lah, so for just assignment does not have to be a lot, yang macam the previous assignment tu student tu just about 5,000 with 2 categories, that should be sufficient. So I need to know the information first, so that everybody, the individual assignment kan, everybody will have different data sets, everybody will have different problems to solve, and then the size of the data set, kalau boleh semua orang tu I nak lebih kurang sama lah size dia, tak nak ada orang besar ada orang kecil, so that's why try to identify first, what you want to do, how the data looks like, and then you guys can letak dekat group, WhatsApp group, and then we can discuss more about it next week. Okay. So question? Anything? Anybody questions? Ada soalan ke tadi? Tak ada.
Tak ada pun.
Tak ada ya? Online semua tak ada.
One, can we use the same data set for continuous and categorical?
Actually tak boleh lah sebab output tu should be different. Categorical data output dia tadi it can be in specific categories. Tapi kalau continuous output dia the numbers tu macam continuous kan, dia it does not have specific categories. So it should be two different sets of data. Unless you want to rearrange the columns lah kan, rearrange the columns supaya mungkin ada data yang boleh dijadikan sebagai output which you want to predict and is continuous. Yeah, and then mungkin daripada the same data set you want to predict some other variables and that variables dia categorical, you nak predict dia. Tu boleh lah. Meaning now the data set has a combination of categorical and continuous data lah.
Okay, Puan.
Okay. Orang lain macam mana? Any questions? Okay. Okay, kalau tak ada question, I think I nak stop sekarang. Yeah. So use this extra time to look for the data set. So don't worry yet about apa benda, what is SVM, you know, or how you want to run the code semualah. Yeah. So next week, yeah. Next week we will discuss about all this the supervised machine learning models, and so next week we will discuss about the SVM, the random forest, okay, and all the other machine learning models tu lah, yeah. And then we learn how we can apply the codings, yeah, from the scikit-learn, okay, to get the results, yeah. So next week we'll discuss about all these models. So anything? Okay. Kalau tak ada soalan, I'll stop here. Yeah, stop here. So, I dah provide a few slides kan, a few files for next few weeks. Yeah. So and then I will add on more as we go on lah. Yeah. Okay. So kalau tak ada apa-apa, so kita sudahilah dengan surah Wal-As. Let me stop the presenting. I will edit the file first, the video ni dulu before I share dia dekat dengan you all, yeah. Okay. So that's all. So insyaAllah I'll see everybody next week, yeah. But then I will still be online until 11:30 lah. If you guys nak tanya apa-apa kan, kok segan nak tanya dalam kelas tadi apa sekarang tak teringat, before 11:30 baru teringat, yeah. So because this class supposed to end at 11:10, 11:10. So I'll still be online until 11:10 if you want to ask anything, yeah. Otherwise that's all lah, yeah. Okay. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Puan.
Okay. Okay.